The first piece of apparatus is the vault. I use levels as I start on the floor, and then I am boosted up by the springboard and I'm now in the air. I also use flow as I have to move my legs apart with flow to make my form good for the straddle. I also must have the correct momentum so that I can get over the vault while also having to stick my landing. I then use the middle level with an arabesque. Then I'm using the bottom level with a front roll, which uses flow, as the moves are graceful together, which I then do a tuck jump using the higher level. I also use force as I must spring off the ground. Spacing travel is then used when walking and accelerating into the corner and doing a leap using more spacing levels. I then use a cartwheel and another cartwheel for another form of travel, and also force as I must hold my legs above my body to get a good flowing movement. I aim to use the whole area provided, so then I run and use force when going into a round off. I can improve my landing by having my feet parallel next to each other. I then go to a bottom level and do a backwards roll. I aim to use flow in this move so that it goes well with the next move. And I am now doing a headstand. I do fail the first headstand, but then I go up and hold this for a good 3 seconds using good timing, as seen on this video. I then go into a front roll from my headstand, and I must use force when pushing up and performing my 360 jump. I then move on to the beam as the third piece of apparatus. Another constant of choreography I aim to use is timing, as I must hold my moves and take time with them so that my performance is graceful on the beam. I use travel as I move forwards, backwards, and sideways during this routine. I now perform a middle balance using levels, which is a stalk stand. I then go sideways and perform my 180 jump. I'm unable to stick my landing, but I then get back on the beam. I try to use levels as I am using the high levels on the beam as I jump on the beam, and also doing balances on the beam using the middle levels. I must use force when I am jumping on the beam to allow myself having the maximum time in the air while also being cautious of my balance. Here I am moving forward and I mount off the beam with a cartwheel. I now move on to the last piece of apparatus, the mini tramp. I use flow as I have a clean landing and a flowing spin while doing my 360. I also must use force as I must push off the trampoline to get maximum height, and also when my run up I must use the correct momentum during my run to prevent myself from either not sticking my landing or not landing on the mat, and then that prevents me from having a nice clean landing. My video at proper speed.